See, I told you guys I like to change things up. All right. So Fuzz, I have to change my timer here because that way I can be a brat. All right. Streaming music. We've got a lot of streaming music services out there that we use. How many people here listen to music via a streaming music service? All right. Do you listen to music still on CDs? Some people? All right. Would you say a good majority of the music you listen to is on a streaming service? Pandora, Spotify, that kind of thing? All right. Well, now we got Fuzz. So what makes Fuzz different?
Yes. So, our one-liners were people-powered radio, and just to mention, I think
people-powered radio.
People-powered radio. So the whole belief behind Fuzz is that the most compelling recommendation, quite honestly, for music, but really anything, isn't when it comes from a computer algorithm. It's when it comes from an actual person. And so, that's really formed the primary thesis, if you will, behind the product. It's a curated radio product. Individuals like you and me to real DJs can curate a station and push that out legally to their audience.
Now, there are a few geeky things I have to talk about here. So first off, how quickly did you create, or not you, but Jeff, who works with you, how fast did he create this?
So my man James Anthony, I don't know where he is, but there he is. He built the Fuzz app in 3 weeks, and basically behind that, we just pushed this out a couple weeks ago. We've assembled what we think is a pretty cool platform behind it that provides the streaming, the metadata, the reporting, all of this, and we are thrilled. I mean, he's a crazy talented, and you can't have him. He's a crazy talented developer, but the great thing is he was able to build it so quickly.
That's amazing. I mean, the turnaround time just with startups these days, it kills me. It's amazing. You previously started Blip FM.
Yes, we did.
What did you learn from that?
So Blip FM, I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but back in the day, our one-liner for that was Twitter for music. So, on Twitter you tweet about what you're doing. On Blip FM back in the day, you would blip about the bands that you love. And I think the greatest learning is that when you empower people to basically to have a voice, right, to share something that they're passionate about, in Blip's case, music, they will work their butt off. And at one point, we were the first music company to integrate with Twitter. And at one point, we were the #2 most referred link to an app company on Twitter. So, and this was way back, if you remember, A+K or Ashton Kutcher was, on his rise to challenge, I think it was CNN, right? To get to 1 million users, and he was an avid blipper with actually tremendous music taste.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's a celeb, but people like you and me, we're given a voice. And I think that whole idea about giving people a voice to curate music, in Fuzz, we decided to port that from an on-demand type of service, which used YouTube clips, right, to a radio experience, which used all major label indie type of tracks, but provided they adhered to some very strict regulations as it relates to internet radio streaming.
Mm-hmm. I really like that, just exploring when you guys are launching companies and startups. I know quite a few in here, entrepreneurs as well, thinking about that larger mission. There are bigger missions out there now, and empowering people. Yep. And by empowering them, not only are they winning because they suddenly have a voice and can express themselves, but you're winning because they pretty much become your marketer.
Totally.
So it's a win-win all around. It's
totally.
Cool. You're also partnered with Gracenote.
We are.
Talk about that a little bit.
I don't know if you guys know Sony Gracenote, but each time you pop a CD into iTunes, it says, querying CDDB database. They're basically doing acoustic fingerprinting and providing metadata. They also provide us album art, artist images, all the acoustic fingerprinting. We've got a great deal. They've been an awesome partner of ours that's providing a lot of the metadata that you'll see in the app later.
Very cool. Well, do you want to show people how this works?
Yeah, let's do it. You want me to do live, or do you want to use the video? Or okay.
Because Amanda broke the stuff up here.
All right. Okay, so welcome to the Fuzz radio app, people-powered radio. I think the core element here is to get you listening to music as quickly as possible. So we've featured a bunch of stations at the very top, Mind Drips, Indietronic Dance Party, a bunch of stations that we think you like, tap into it. We give you info about the number of plays, props. In this case, 560 people like this station. You tap play, and we get you listening to music with just a couple of taps. Obviously, you can share it over Facebook, Twitter. You can buy it on iTunes. If you like the song, you can give it props, which the DJ hears about too. You can, if you got Apple TV or
What was Fuzz Basement?
what's that? Yep,
was
that was the
Fuzz
Fuzz basement. Yeah, we operate literally out of a basement. We keep track of. We also scan your iTunes library. So if you like a band like Beach House, I think I picked. There's 37 stations. If you don't know Beach House, shame on you. They're an awesome band. And we immediately get you to stations that have Beach House and that type of music. Obviously, your favorite stations, we track DJ'd stations. We keep track of the top Fuzz DJs by genre, so the genre information Gracenote provides to us. So if you're, for example, an electronic music fan, I don't know what you dig, Amanda, but if you like electronic, you can quickly see who the top DJs are in that genre. And then finally, we keep track of your prop songs. So, when you go through that process, you're like, oh, I really like that song. What was it? We track it so you can go back. Obviously, if you want to search by DJ name, band, I think I picked Arcade Fire. There's 37 stations here. If you like that band, tap away and start listening pretty quickly.
Cool. Very cool. Do you have time for Q&A? Quick one? One quick question. Come on, someone's got a question in the audience. Come on, let's ask him what his favorite song is. I mean, back here, way back. How is this legal?
The legal bomb. So,
the legal bomb!
So interestingly, if you want to go down the path of starting a music company, interestingly, my co-founder happens to be a lawyer.
That helps.
We are a statutory compliant internet radio service. There's very specific terms outlined in the statute. We pay Sound Exchange and the performing rights organizations to stream the music. We got to track this, report on a periodic basis to them, and provided we stay within the limitations of the playback rules, we are good to go.
Very cool. We got to wrap it up, guys, for the next one, but we will be still mixing and mingling afterwards, and you can talk with Jeff then.
Thank
you so
Amanda.
much,
Appreciate
Jeff. Jeff with Fuzz.
Okay.